from the left side. Dustin Thomas comes flying in and flushes it with two hands. Hi again, and welcome to the Buffalo Stampede. I'm Mark Johnson of 850 KOA Radio, your play-by-play voice of the Buffaloes, joined today by head coach Tad Boyle. Buffaloes the last couple of weeks, and again, it's been a slow schedule because of the holidays. Big game in Vegas, a loss to number 7 Oklahoma State, and then a victory over Georgia. And Coach, as fast as those games were coming in the month of November, it seems almost slow here in the month of December so far.
It does, and we kind of needed it over the holidays and final exams for the players and all those things. It was kind of nice to catch our breath. We had some good practices. I think we've improved in some areas, and so it's that November though, it went quick because those games were back to back to back. It just seems like we couldn't catch our breath much.
The Buffs had two top 10 matchups in non-conference play. Of course, they knocked off Kansas, and then a game in Vegas just before Christmas with a 78-73 loss to the number 7 Oklahoma State Cowboys. Comment or two about that ball game and your performance by your team.
Well, you know, we played them to a 5-point game on a neutral court where we're going to play the Pac-12 tournament, as everybody knows, at the MGM Grand. So it was a good experience, but in terms of our performance and the way we played, I don't think anybody, coaches, players, I'm sure fans that watched it or fans that came to Vegas to watch that game were very happy with our performance. We didn't play very well offensively, but didn't play very well defensively, but again, there's something about this team, the competitiveness and the will to win and the desire that they play with that kept that game close. But after the game, it was a disappointing feeling in the locker room.
And on our radio broadcast, the post-game, Coach, you were a little hard on yourself after that ball game in terms of how you got your team prepared in terms of the execution of practices leading up.
Well, when you're going through final exams, it's so hard as a coach because you want to practice, you want to get better, you know what's on the horizon with an Oklahoma State team, but yet you have to respect your players, and they are here to be students first and athletes second, and so after that game, when you don't perform or execute the way you think you should as a coach, number one, that's your responsibility, and number two, you look back thinking, well, maybe we should have practiced more or harder or whatever, but it's just a function of the schedule, and we just didn't play well, and that's just as much on me as the players.
Going to Vegas, and again, that was a neutral court game. Same organization that put on the Baylor game, in fact, to start the season for the Buffaloes. Going to Vegas, as you mentioned, the team's going to play there for the tournament. You like that kind of event that you were involved in there?
Absolutely. It gets us used to that neutral court, and obviously in the Pac-12 tournament, we're going to be playing hopefully multiple games on multiple nights. But to get on that floor, get in the arena, get in the hotel, and get our players kind of used to that atmosphere, I think will hopefully prove beneficial come March.
Well, how about Josh Scott? First of 2 consecutive double-doubles he had against the Cowboys. He seems to really be coming into his own.
Yeah, he really is. He's starting to feel it. He's really rebounding. I was looking at the rebounding numbers the other day. I mean, he's almost averaging a double-double. Really playing well offensively. The thing I'm most pleased with Josh is, and it's not really showing up in the assist numbers, but he's really become a very good passer out of the low post, which is a necessity because he is so good down there. He's drawn a lot of double teams and a lot of attention. So when we get that true inside-out combination going, we're a tough team to guard.
The other day on the Pac-12 Network's former UCLA standout Don McClain called Scott maybe the best offensive post player in the Pac-12, or at least a center. Pretty high praise.
It is high praise, and I would agree with him. I think I wouldn't trade Josh for any center in the league. I know that. I mean, the fact that he's only a sophomore, he's unselfish. He does what is best for the team. He wants the ball down there, and that's half the battle. Sometimes post guys say they want it, but they really don't. He wants it, and usually when he gets it down there, something good happens.
So the Buffaloes suffer their second loss of the season, both to top 25 teams on neutral court, sit at 10-2. And Coach, before we talk about your non-conference finale against the Georgia Bulldogs, a topic near and dear to my heart. You had some Special Olympians in here to the event center with the Expand program a few days ago.
We did. Yeah, the Friday before the Georgia game, after practice, we had some young athletes, local athletes in here who are special needs, and I tell you what, when you're around young people like that, it just it's hard not to have a good day. It's good on both sides. You talk about win-win situations. Those athletes really enjoyed to come watch the end of practice and get down on the floor. We had a chance to shoot around and do some drills and some basketball activities with those athletes, and brought a smile to their face, and they were fired up being around our players. And our players, I think, get just as much out of it as well. Around the holidays, we all have so much to be thankful for, and But when you're around special needs people like that have such a great outlook on life and such energy and such a great spirit about them that you leave feeling a lot better about them and about yourself and about your program and about what it's all about.
Certainly puts things in perspective a little bit. So the Buffaloes then put a wrap on the non-conference schedule. Team out of the SEC, the Georgia Bulldogs, coming to town, and Colorado pulls out the victory, improves to 11-2 with an 84-70 win over the Bulldogs. Pretty athletic group that Georgia came in here with.
Yeah, we knew a SEC caliber team. They're going to win some games in that league, and that's as you know, that's a good league. A lot of good athletes. They had some guards with size. Transition defense continues to be an issue for our team. It's something we've got to address in our practices. And they scored a lot of points in transition and in the paint. So again, we talked about it before the game and certainly after the game. But that out of your non-conference opponents, what you want is games that are going to mean something, to the committee in March, and you want teams that are going to help prepare you for league play. And Georgia helped us in both those regards.
And it was a ball game. The Buffaloes came out offensively pretty sharp on that one earlier.
We did. We executed. We talked about execution. We've been working on offensive execution in practice. We came out. We really shared the ball. We showed great patience, as you mentioned, after the game, and it showed. It showed. We shot 51% as a team. We really shot the ball well from the free throw line. It was a good night offensively, and you're going to win a lot of games when you don't miss a free throw and you shoot 51%.
Yeah, one thing I ask Tad about all the time before a season starts, is this a good shooting team? And frequently Tad will say, I think it is. That's what we're seeing in practice. And then, of course, in games, things may not always unfold like you expect them to. But I was joking with you after the ball game. You did a great job coaching free throws the other day. 26 straight, a CU record in a ball game.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And when it's going like that, and sometimes free throw shooting is contagious. When they're going in and the guy before you goes to the line and makes both, it's maybe it's a little easier, and it's contagious the other way too. And we've seen that aspect of it when you can't make one that night, and so it's up and down. But again, when it comes to free throw shooting, it's an individual thing. I don't talk about it a lot with our team, positively or negatively, because I want them to really take pride in that individually.
Now, with that being said, how much of a free throw shot is what happens between the ears instead of the physical aspect of it?
A big part of it, yeah. No question. It's concentration and relaxation. And again, I'd mentioned this before. We chart every free throw we shoot in practice, and there's not one player on our team that makes less than 75% of his free throws in practice. So our guys have good mechanics. They can step to the line and knock it down. There is some game slippage. There is with any kind of offensive category. Free throws are no exception, but it's a lot of it's between the ears.
A season is broken down to 3 parts. You got the non-conference, the conference, and the postseason, of course. So non-conference is in the rearview mirror now. 11-2. What kind of report card do you give the Buffaloes through that?
I'd give us definitely an A, maybe a B plus if I'm a hard grader. We want to be 13-0, and we feel like our program's to the point now where we can win any game that's on our schedule. Obviously, we won our 2 road games. We lost the 2 neutral court games to top 25 teams, and those are ones you want to have back for us to be an elite team. And I think we've made it in the top 25 now, which is good. But if you want to make the next jump, those are the games you got to win. So there's always something to shoot for. There's always room for improvement. But looking back, 11-2. We feel good about it, and again, the teams we played in the non-conference, I think, are going to help us as we prepare for conference competition.
Yeah, the other good news, Colorado not with a bad loss in non-conference play. Well, now it's the deep end of the pool. You jump into the Pac-12. It looks like the league is a much better league than maybe it was a couple of years ago, and you got the 2 Oregons coming in to begin, the Beavers on Thursday night of Oregon State. Yeah,
and if we can't get up for Oregon State, I don't know who we can. I mean, they beat us here on senior night, when we honored Sabatino and Shane and the guys last year. Really left a little bit of a sour taste in our mouths as we headed into the postseason tournament in Las Vegas. So hopefully the returning guys will remember that. We know that they've got 2 of the best scorers in the league. Roberto Nelson's leading the league in scoring. Devon Collier is a really good low-post player. So, and Angus Brandt, they got him back off injury from last year. So Oregon State has very good pieces. They've gone to Maryland, beat Maryland. They've got some good wins on their schedule. It's not going to be easy. They play a zone. They keep you off balance. It's going to be a heck of an opportunity. And obviously Oregon, a top 25 team. Yep. They lead the country in scoring. Enough said about that.
Well, it's going to be fun. The conference is finally here. Coach, good luck. We'll see you on Thursday. Happy New Year's.
Okay, thanks.
All right, that is head coach Tad Boyle. For all things Buffaloes, check out BuffsTV at CUBuffs.com. For Tad Boyle, I'm Mark Johnson. Stay with us now. It's time for BG Brooks.
Hi, this is BG Brooks with CUBuffs.com. 2013 is a day away from the finish line, and Tad Boyle's basketball team is 3 days away from the starting line in the Pac-12 Conference. We're in for a heck of a race. The Pac-12 will be more than pretty good this season. In last week's AP Top 25, the conference was represented by 3 teams. Number 1 Arizona, number 12 Oregon, and number 21 CU. UCLA was among others receiving votes. I don't see those rankings changing much, if at all, this week. Right away, the Buffs catch a top 25 Pac-12 opponent hosting the Ducks on Sunday. But to make that matchup equal the build-up, first, CU must dispose of Oregon State on Thursday night in the conference opener. Entering the new year, the Buffs have put together something special. Their 11-2 non-conference record matches their best start in 34 years, and their RPI is hovering in the 9 to 11 range. They're beginning to get consistent offensive play. Junior guard Askia Booker has scored a season-high 19 points in each of the last 2 games and appears to be buying into Boyle's mandate of playing under control and selective shooting. All 5 CU starters were in double figures in Saturday night's 84-70 win over Georgia, and the Buffs hit a school record 26 consecutive free throws. They also shot 51% from the field, but allowed the Bulldogs to shoot 50%. And that doesn't play well in Boyle's defensive rebounding-oriented scheme. CU gave up 20-plus layups to Georgia, and Boyle knows if that number doesn't come down in conference play, the Buffs will suffer. But Boyle has to be pleased with this number. CU out-rebounded its non-conference opponents by an average of 10 boards, with a much-improved Josh Scott averaging 9.2 rebounds to go with his 13.1 points. Forwards Wes Gordon and Xavier Johnson are averaging right at 13 boards between them. The Buffs finished 10-8 in the Pac-12 last season, but the Buffs think they're better than a 9-win Pac-12 team, and very soon they can go about proving it. This is BG Brooks. You can read my men's and women's basketball coverage on CUBuffs.com.